This is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you once again from downtown Manila. Not as hot today, it's a bit cloudy, which is very nice. Always pleasant when it's cloudy. Got an awesome guest here today. All the way, don't hold it. He's all the way from Melbourne. I escaped Melbourne 13 years ago, guys. His name is Hatim Abbas, commonly known as Tim to his friends and colleagues and workmates. He's a founder of a company called Performance Marketer. So he's in the marketing space, guys, and he's done this for a number of years, around the 10-year mark, and still, young guys, still learning, as we all are about marketing. But if you want to know about marketing, the worst you could do is reach out and have a cup of coffee, have a chat about what your situation, what your problems are, and for free, over the phone, he'll give you a couple of solutions, and then you can possibly go from there. Because remember, guys, you don't know what you don't know. So reach out to him. It's not going to hurt to give you a harm. Right, so if you're looking for someone who's passionate about marketing or treat your business as their own, you've found the right person. Key achievements: zero churn rate with clients, got a lawyer from $150,000 a year to $600,000 in revenue, helped scale e-commerce brand from $15,000 a month to $120,000 a month in 28 days. And guys, sometimes it's a little tweak that you can't see because you're too close to the trees, right? Fix tracking for major brands and businesses, and literally the guy agencies go to for fixing their problems. Personal motto or philosophy: someone's coming to you with their business, just do a good job helping them. And if you can't be honest with them, there are times when I've said no to people and always done work for free. Interesting fact: I'm a huge, I'm not sure what this word is. Is that animated? Animation?
I'm a huge anime fan, yeah.
Animation, okay.
Yeah.
Animation and comic book fan. Yes. He's like me, he hasn't grown up yet.
Made never.
So it's my great pleasure to work on. Welcome to the stage. Tim, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, mate. How are you? Glad to be here.
Yeah, going awesome. Let me get my paperwork here and we'll get this show underway. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career. Where's that aha moment? Where did it all begin?
All right. Well, I think for me, marketing was something that just came to me naturally. My mom very typically wanted me to be someone in the medical space,
Yeah.
and she herself is an accountant, so she wanted me to, and definitely had the brains for it. But I was just like never really resonated. I was a huge fan of economics and how the world worked, and at a very young age, I understood that money is how the world works. It doesn't really matter if I'm a doctor or a lawyer. If I don't have money, I've got no respect. That being said, I started doing trainings and internships and all of the above. And right as soon as I came to Australia, this was around 2020. I was just applying for internships, and my first internship got to be at a company, and it was a digital marketing internship. So I was like, hey, you know what? It's an opportunity that came my way. Let's get started, and just man, I got lucky. Yeah, I got very lucky, and I had a great mentor actually. Learned a lot, definitely got into the space a lot quicker, and realized that there's a lot of people trying to sell something that they don't even know what it is. So definitely made a name out for myself very quickly in that space. Then last year, I think last year, September, October, I got laid off from my current position. I was working at an agency, but they had to lay me off and a few other people because they had cash flow issues. Very typical for agencies at the end of the year with cash flow. So in that situation, and then I was about to get married in December, right in a couple of months. I was definitely planning to go on my 40-day long leave for my marriage. So I knew no one was going to hire me. And in that situation, I was like, hey, you know what? I've done this. I've tried everything. I've worked with agencies. I've worked in-house. Let's give it a shot myself. And definitely had a lot of industry connections. No, thanks, man. But definitely had a lot of industry connections, a lot of friends who respected the work I did. And I think the word gets around when you do a good job, right? I wasn't very active on LinkedIn or any socials in that manner, but just going to events and talking to people, really good at just giving free advice. And in doing so, eventually got a few of my first clients. And some of my first clients, funny enough, weren't business owners, like typical business owners. They were actually agencies. And here's the fun fact about it. Agencies don't know what they're doing half the time. I literally went to one of these agency coaching sort of businesses, and their biggest lesson there is every agency is a sales agency because customers are going to churn. And what I realized is no one's really targeting that market where why don't you keep a customer by doing a good job?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah,
so much easier.
much more easier. And it's one of those things that you learn in uni. I learned in uni, by the way, absolute waste of my time. But that one thing I learned in that one marketing lecture is it's 5 times more expensive to get a new customer than to keep an existing one.
That's right. I left school. I learned that lesson I left school when I was 14 before the system could get hold of me. I got
But
out.
you dodged a bullet there.
I got out early. What's been the most
Uh,
challenging aspect of your work, and how have you been overcoming that?
the most challenging aspect, to be honest, has been trying to scale and trying to get. I think I'd like to rephrase that in a way that problem with clients is they've been burnt by so many agencies. It's really hard to get them to understand that it's not all bad out there. There's some good people out there.
Sure.
And I think and that's the challenging aspect. And the way I'm sort of making it work is by actually being there for my customers. So all of my customers can contact me via WhatsApp, via email, however they want to. And not because I'm over servicing them, but just because it's their business, mate. Like, you have a business, they have a business, respect each other. If you grow, they grow. And I think the lawyer example that you quoted, Jeff, was a good one. When she started off with me, she was just doing 150K. And I was just available, not only in the fact that I'm always texting her and talking to her, in the sense that I knew what had to be done and not giving a shit about what she's paying me for that month. Just went a bit overboard for her for the first 3 to 6 months. She's been my client now for the last year and a half. She's making 4 times as much money, not because she's hired more staff, just because she's getting a lot better leads and
Yeah,
quality
more
work.
efficient,
Yeah,
change her rates, etc. Tell us an
exactly.
important moment in your career that pretty much changed your direction. I guess it was when you lost your job and you thought, well, bugger, I'm sick of working for idiots. I'll go and work for a lunatic.
Yeah, oh, 100%. But I think the bigger pivot actually came after that as well. When I went to that event and I saw that marketing agencies are absolutely full of shit.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, there's like, I don't know, close to 500, 600, don't quote me on this, but probably 500 to 600 marketing agencies in
At
the
least.
Melbourne area.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Melbourne area only, right? And not everyone's going to do a good job at it. Most of these guys, they're senior specialists on paper just to make them look very fancy. But like I've had meetings with these people, they don't even understand how ads work. They just seen a few YouTube videos and
Yes.
claim to know how to do it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah, and that's my realizing moment. Like there's a huge market out there. There's people who genuinely need help, and just everyone's out to make some money for
Well,
it. Like
you're someone
marketing.
like me. You're someone who's played the game. We're not out in the grandstand, guys. Watch. We're not
Exactly.
spectators. We've played the
Yeah.
game. We got the bumps and bruises to prove it. We
Exactly.
played the game. I was telling Tim about my situation where I used to spend 6,000 a week on advertising to get 200 leads. I wanted to be more dominant, so I went up to 10,000. Interesting fact was I only got about 10 more leads by sending 4,000 extra. I didn't know that. I had to find out the hard way by wasting my money for about 2 months before I brought it back to that 6,000 sweet spot. So now I've got a valuable lesson from that, right? Which I can pass on to others. But Tim, moving along here, in your opinion, what are the key qualities and skills that have contributed to your amazing success?
Uh, Honesty. I know it's a bit of a cliche,
Sure.
but honesty. Realistically, if you know a business is not
It's
every
called,
month's going to be a
it's
great
called,
month.
it's called integrity, my friend. Not many people have
Yeah,
got it.
there you go. But you can just, like, for example, I know that July is going to be a very dry month for lawyers. I'm not going to tell my legal client, oh, you're going to have to pump money in ads. I just know that it's not worth it. So we pre-plan it and I just tell her that, hey, look, June's going to be a great month. September's going to be a great month. Why don't you take a leave or vacation July? Because it's going to be a dry month for you regardless. And they trust these insights because we are the experts. We know what's happening
Yeah,
out there.
sure.
They know their field as good as anyone. I wouldn't know a single thing about legal stuff, right? But they
Yes.
know it a lot better than I do. And I can trust them with their help, then they
Yep.
should be able to trust me back.
Well, I tell the baker, mate, just go back in the kitchen and do what you're good at, baking bread, and I'll get
Yeah,
customers coming through the front door. If you're a plumber
exactly.
under the sink, you can't be doing marketing. You're under the bloody sink all day fixing up taps, right? If you're
Yeah,
a carpenter, you're building houses. How can you do the marketing? You're either a carpenter or a marketer. And this is
exactly.
one for you to use, Tim, with your clients. I tell them this. It takes 18 people to build a house, your foundations, your roofer, your paneling, your carpenter, your plumber, your electrician, your landscaper, 18 and a supervisor, 18 people to build a house. How silly are you guys for trying to build a business by yourself? It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? So get out of your own way and hire people. If you don't like mowing the lawn, get someone to mow your lawns. If you want to get your car washed, go to the bloody car wash. They do a better job than what you will. Give them $20 while you make 50. That's how you scale up and make money, my friend. It's by outsourcing the stuff you don't want to do. And if you want to know how to do that, reach out to Tim. He'll tell you all about it. Tell you how to scale up, guys. Right? Tell me, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field? What's your secret?
Well, to be honest with you, just being relevant in the field is quite important now. Like, I'm not going to try and sell you a redundant service. I'm not going to try and sell you anything and everything that's under the sun. I have a subscription to a few emails and like newsletters and stuff, which I always check out in the morning. I wake up at 6, and the first thing I do before brushing my teeth is check those newsletters, see what's up. I know it sounds crazy, right? But it's really true, right? It keeps me on top of things. I do follow some really good people like Jeff on LinkedIn, and in doing so, I understand like what's happening, what's not happening in the market. But more so than that, all of that's just education side, right? I know because I'm deep in the weeds with my clients' accounts, either Google, Facebook, wherever they're advertising or marketing on, right? I'm deep in the accounts. I can see those trends. I can see it just comes to experience, right? You can tell what's wrong, what's gonna be wrong, and what's gonna get even worse.
That's
But on
right.
the other hand, you can tell what's working, what can be exactly that example that you gave, Jeff, where you could get $6,000 on ad spend, you're getting an X amount of leads doesn't mean 10,000 is going to bring you more. And you learn that lesson the hard way. And
I
those
did.
hard lessons, yeah, and they probably taught you a lot more than like, anything, any newsletter would ever teach you. So
That's
being
right.
in those in my own clients' accounts teaches me a lot more than anything else.
Yeah, you got to learn, but we all make mistakes. You got to learn from them, guys.
Yes,
Any people that don't make mistakes, my friend, are the people that don't do anything. They'll never make a mistake,
exactly, mate.
right?
And I guess the biggest problem that marketing agencies have right now is they expect everything to be perfect every single month, right?
Can't
But
be.
they completely discount the fact that you're living in a very volatile world where you
That's
have
right.
nothing under
That's
your
right.
control. Even the platforms you market in, if they're not in our control. They're owned by another company based in the States, and
That's right.
you're basically you're a slave to the algorithm,
I
is
know
what you
all
are.
about it, my friend. I've lost 12
Yeah,
Facebook. I've lost 12 Facebook accounts in the last 2 years.
there you go.
I know all about, and I'm going over. Funny enough, I'm going over to a program. I told people I'm too old to go back to school, which is spelled
Oh,
KOOL. But I'm setting up right as we speak. I'm setting up a school platform so that
there you go.
those people I actually own those people. Whereas actually with Facebook, I'm only renting them. Big difference, guys.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Massive difference.
yeah, you got to know these things. Tell us about a recent project or achievement that you're particularly proud of, my friend.
Ah, in terms of like client success or just generally personally?
Either or.
Well, my college reached out to me, I think last week, and this is like somewhere I graduated 10 years ago. I look older, but I swear to you, I'm younger than I look. But my college reached out to me just last week, and they wanted to put me on in their alumni list for some of the biggest achievers and successful people on their list. So that was a pretty
Fantastic.
big
How
one for
cool is
me.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
What a
10
wonderful.
years after graduation, they still remember me. Pretty exciting news.
What advice would you give someone who wanted to just start out and he was a younger version of you, let's say an 18-year-old, and he came along? What would you tell him to do? What would you tell him?
If anyone starts to tell you that you need a job to know everything, they're telling you the wrong stuff. The job definitely teaches you processes and like ethics, etc. But it's not the only place to learn it. The best way to learn things is on the job itself, like on doing
Absolutely.
doing the hard work, the grunt work. Don't shy away from doing free work for people for the sake of learning things as well. And make sure that you're taking risks, but not emotionally.
Yes, fair enough too. Um,
Yeah.
I'd tell them get a mentor, guys. You might save 5 or 10 years off the journey. Get someone who's been there and done it. Most people are quite
Yeah.
happy to share with you. You'd be surprised who you can ring up and have a chat to. Like the worst they can do is say no, right? So
Oh, yeah, exactly.
move on to the next one, right? Simple. Three no's.
I had a mentor. Yeah.
Everyone's got a mentor. I've had Guys, when I was 40, I was always fairly rich. When I was 40, I saw the great tennis players, Pete McEnroe, not Pete, Pete Sampras, sorry, and John McEnroe, Tiger Woods, all the stars in the sporting world. Because I was in the sporting world, and I thought, why have these guys got a coach? I'm racking my brain. A little voice said to me, Jeff, they've got a coach because they want to be better. I thought, shit,
Yeah.
I'm rich. I want to be better. I can afford it. I'll get some coaches. True story, guys. May God give me cancer of the eyes. I hired 4 coaches. 3 of them, within 1 month, they were paying me to coach them. They'd never had a business. They were reading out of a bloody handbook. They had no effing clue what business was about. The only way you know about business, guys, is get in the trenches and you get to know all about it. But the 4th guy, who I didn't even like, probably my ego got in the way a bit with him. I didn't like the guy. Funny enough, his name was Tim. And Tim told me, and this cost me $20,000, guys. I'm going to give it to you all for free. He told me this. Only years later do I remember it. I've been using it for the last 10 years. You don't know what you don't know. And I remember that every day. I reach out. There's a lot of things I don't know. I learn from other people. I've got experts all over the world. If I don't know about a website, guys, I'll ring up my webmaster. Right? I can't know everything. Right? I'm just a guy like Henry Ford. He put the car together. He never even had a driver's license, but he knew how to put all the people together to make an amazing car. So that's the story, guys. Anyway, on more with the show. What looking ahead? What are your goals and aspirations for the future, Tim? What's on the horizon for you?
Mate, I mean, obviously it's gone to shit now, but my goal's always been the same since I was 15, being the Forbes 30 and the 30 list of successful people. And that's not only just in terms of money, just being a big name in the field is where I want to be in the future. I also want to have a few other, just coach a little bit, be a mentor to someone as well at the same time, provide, give back to the community in that sense. But more importantly,
Leave a legacy. That's
yeah,
the whole idea.
yeah, but most importantly, I think I want to have the freedom to make a lot of my own decisions and travel at my own time and do a lot of those things. And I think that's the dream. It's very easily sold on Instagram, but it's a lot tougher to get there.
Freedom's the ultimate, guys. So Tim and I,
Yeah,
we're so fortunate, guys. You people out there, you got a soul-sucking job. Try and get out of that job as quick as you can, because we've got the ultimate. We've got a passion. When we get up in the morning, we go, "Aha! What can I do today?" Right? And we can even get up and go, "I don't feel like going to work today." We have that choice. It's called freedom, guys. I'm in Asia and I travel all over the world, guys. Have laptop, will travel. People say, "You're so lucky." I'm not lucky, guys. I put myself in that situation, and you can do exactly the same if you choose to. Don't be bound to a desk, right? Wrapping it up, how can our listeners and people watching this wonderful podcast, how can they get your services and find out a bit more about what you can do to help their business? What's the best
of
way?
course. Feel free to reach out to me via performancemarketer.com.au. You'll find my calendar link there if you want to book in a meeting, or if you want to check out more about, just read the blogs, check out the service pages, or you know what, if you're still keen, follow me on LinkedIn.
Lovely. And by the way, guys, we'll be putting Tim's socials all over social media. His LinkedIn, Facebook group, um, uh, tongue-tied, Quora, Reddit, and of course, YouTube with all his social media links where you'll be able to reach out to him, but you can take the link of your choice, reach out to him, have a chat. He's a cool guy. He's there to help you guys. The help is there. You've just got to pick up that phone or your computer and make it happen. Now, as we wrap it up, a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know, my friend.
Fun fact.
Yeah,
Well, oh, that's a fun one. I really, as fat as I am, I really enjoy playing sports.
yeah.
But that being said, I think, well, that's a tough one, mate. I really, it's a really big tough one, to be
You didn't
honest.
tell us you were yo-yo champion when you were 8.
I used to be an absolute beast at swimming, but I guess my biggest fun fact is the fact that I'm a huge nerd for cars. I'm a huge car nerd. Like if I see a nice car, I will literally just ramble on about it, everything I can,
Yeah.
like Wikipedia.
Funny enough, I had a wonderful, beautiful Chinese girlfriend years ago, and she
Yeah.
worried me because she knew every car. It'd go past, and she would know.
Wow.
I'm talking high performance cars. She would know the model, you know, and she was
Yeah.
never wrong. And I thought,
All right.
where does that ability come in? Some people are really into that sort of stuff. Me, I'm just happy to get from A to B. In fact, I don't
Yeah.
have it anymore. I hire like either Uber or Grab up here, and it's pretty
Yeah.
cool just to sit back and do my work while someone else worries about the traffic. So
It's perfect, man.
you've been an awesome guest, my friend. Thanks for being on the show. And guys, if you want your 15 minutes of fame, I want you to think about this. A TV commercial back in Victoria will cost you about $30,000. That's a fact. And when it comes on, people are going to jump up, they're going to grab a burger, they're going to grab a beer, or they might go to the toilet. They miss the thing completely. Okay, you want to go with Darren Hitch and do 10 radio spots. Okay, that's fine. But they're going to play them at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when people are asleep, right? But come on, 15 minutes of fame, guys, and it's all about you. And we'll put every man and woman's got a story. We'd love to hear your story. We'll put it all across social media for you, potentially putting you in front of hundreds of people. And the whole idea of it is we make a mini movie, keep using it for months or years to come because it's all about you. And remember, LinkedIn's got 1 billion people. There's a new audience every day. So keep posting, keep putting it out there. And you never know how many clients you may pick up just because you came on 15 minutes of fame. Once again, thanks, Tim. Have an awesome day, my friend.
All right. Thanks, mate.